Maybe Salva is not talking about South Sudan sometimes. Maybe he talks about another country. Maybe because there's no way in the right hand, people are being killed, humanitarians are being burned down, the resources are being looted, and on the left hand, so the same person that is doing this thing is telling you that let's have peace. I don't know. What is happening? I don't understand. Because you cannot two water, good water and bad water cannot come out on the same tap at the same time. It's not possible. There's no way Salva Kiir will be calling for peace in Juba, sending everybody to Nairobi, sending them to Addis Ababa, sending them to Sudan, sending them to Egypt. And on this other hand, Paul Nang and the soldiers are already in Lonwer, and the way they are bragging with videos and everything, because whatever is happening, they are doing it in our eyes. The humanitarian Save the Children can confirm what they are doing on the ground. The UNIMIS can confirm what the SSPDF are doing on the ground. The MSF can confirm of the things that they are doing on the ground. And this other side, we are being told, what is peace? This is a question I'm asking myself. What is peace to you South Sudanese? What is peace? What is the description of peace when it comes to Salva Kiir? What is peace? You know, so this is a question I always ask myself. Because if we talk about peace, then there's no way. Actually, funny enough, yesterday, I was texted by someone who survived in Pajut War. This person is called Bol Anwer. Bol Anwer was a general that I think left the IO some few months ago and then was appointed by President Kiir and sent to the ground to go and fight the IO people. So, when he reached Pajut, all his soldiers, including his own bodyguards, were killed. And then he became dumb. He could not talk. He became deaf for some times. And we saw in some videos, people were they were translating for him. So yesterday, he texted me. He texted me yesterday on my messenger. And he told me, hi, Ruth. I'm like, I know this person. I saw the video of this person somewhere. I told him, hi. He told me, stop campaigning for war. I told him, I'm not campaigning for war. You launched war. You were in the war in Pajut. And I told him, I am so sorry for the trauma you went through in Pajut, because that trauma will have been too much for you. And then from there, he kept talking. I told him, no, I love South Sudan so much. I vote for the independence of that country. So there's no way. So we continued chatting, and I told him, no, Salva Kiir will go in 2026. That's what I told him. I told him in 2026, Salva Kiir will go. And no matter what, Salva Kiir will go in 2026. So it have reached to the level of they don't want to fight for our right. There is a scenario I want to bring into your attention. This scenario, the Dinka community are not aware of what is happening in the Nuer land. You just come on Facebook and tell people that you come on social media and tell us that let peace come. And even the UN, the organizations, offices are being burned down. As we speak, MSF office in Pieri was burned down to ashes. It was bombed. And then when you go again to Walgak, Save the Children office again was burned down to ashes. And here you are coming to social media on Facebook and you are telling people, when we come and advocate and tell people that the Nuer people are being killed by the government, and then you come and say that we go for peace, that you Nuer are tribalists. How will Nuer be tribalists? From 2013, Nuer never talk. Nuer were quiet. They were in UNIMIS, in the IDP camps, in Bentiu, in Juba. Some of them went to refugees camp in Uganda. Some also are in the camp. We have also in Malakal. We have also camp in Bor. This is where that's where you find Nuer people. Most of them are in those places. Now, you're coming out and telling them. So to me, I'm like, when will the truth be said in South Sudan? When are we going to say the truth? Before you come out and start attacking people on social media, please find out. Nuer don't hate anybody. But we are telling you that the government is killing us. The government is burning us alive with chemical weapons. Let me ask all the states, if you have received the PIT, you know what happened in South Sudan? In the state level, the state used to collect their own tax. They used to collect their own tax, and then the Juba collects its own tax. But now what happened? The government in Juba go even to the state level, they are collecting tax. As we speak, the PIT have not been given. The 5% have not been given. The 3% have not been given. If I'm lying, please come and tell me here. Because all this money were collected by a dude Salfa. She took the money to Uganda and paid the Uganda so that helicopters could come and bomb. So the helicopters that are bombing Walga, that are bombing Pieri, that is the money, the PIT that is supposed to be used in the state level. So there's no budget in the states. As we speak, all the governors, there's no money. Administrative areas, they have not received any money. There's no money. And actually, the reason why the governor of Unity State was supposed to be removed. And then he used this PIT money. He gave it out. And then from now, he's in power. So our leaders are buying the government in Juba with their resources so that they can continue to stay in power. As we speak, the money have not been released. There's no money in the states level. The PIT have been taken to Uganda to purchase the helicopter so that it can come and bomb the people of Unwer. And then you are telling us that here, that peace will not come on social media. If you want peace in South Sudan means Salva Kiir is not in position anymore. That is the peace we are talking about. If you want to talk about peace, Salva is not in position. That is the peace we are supposed to be talking about. So anytime you talk about peace, if Salva is still in power and you want to negotiate peace, there's no peace. There is no peace. There's no peace with Salva in power. No Salva Kiir. If Salva Kiir is sitting as the president of South Sudan, there is no peace. There is no peace. Another statement actually that came out yesterday from Bol Anwer when I was chatting with him, he said that this war that you guys are doing, please talk to the White Army. Please talk to IO. Who am I to talk to IO? It's Salva Kiir to talk to IO. Who am I? Do I even know the IO? I am a human rights activist. And because I'm telling you the truth, you hate me. No. The truth have to be open. The whole world know. The international community have begged Salva Kiir to release the first vice president so that they can go back to the negotiation of the dialogue of the peace of the R-axis. Who have not begged? The wise men were sent to Juba in the name of peace. Wise men were sent to Juba. The C5, they refused. A convoy, the late Honorable Raila Odinga, was sent to Juba in the name of peace. He told him, for you to see Dr. Riek Machar, you have to go to Uganda and consult. And when he came and said, they deny. How? A government that doesn't know how to say the truth. What are we going to do with that government? A government that kills its own people. No. So when you come here and try to tell us on Facebook that please don't be this, please don't be this, it's because your children are not being killed. Huh? The children in Bargazal, they are going to school normal. The Bargazal children, they are going to school normally. Where there's a problem is the Upper Nile. That is where there's problem. Cut it from Bor. From Bor, the children are not in school. The children have gone to either Goliath, they run away to the bush, and maybe to the swamps. Go to Ayot. Nobody's in school. Go to every part. So when the Bargazal children are in school, because when you see your children are in school, you think everybody is okay. You think South Sudan is okay. South Sudan is not okay. South Sudan is okay on your side. But on the other side, South Sudan is bleeding. Cut it from Bor going forward. There's nothing that is happening there. Children are not going to school. People are running away from their own home. Why are they running away? Because Salva Kiir have declared war in Juba. How did he declare war? He destroyed the peace agreement by arresting all the signatories to the peace agreement. When you talk about the air access, there's only two people that are main important in that peace agreement. The first vice president and the president. So without one of them, there's no peace. And he came and made another mistake when he appointed these Tumaini stakeholders. Instead of even including the main IO, he went and put a dead person, an innocent person that came out and told you people that after 5 years, I am innocent. The family came out and asked, and we want to make sure that if the government of South Sudan is paying or is compensating the government, the family of the late steward Sorobo, we must know, because he is our that is our business. He's our business. He died as a signatory in the peace agreement, so that make him our property. As much as he's a family property, but he's also our property. So we must make sure that whatever is happening, he is given openly, and we all South Sudanese know that the government actually have done this. And the government must not do anything to harm this family, because we know what the government of South Sudan can do. So we all South Sudanese need to keep an eye on the family of the late steward Sorobo Abudia, because he was a victim. He died in Blue House. He died in Blue House in detention. I don't know why. I'm still finding out why he was put there. And I know it's the same way that Dr. Riek was put in prison or in under house arrest. So, when you come and talk about peace, there's no way peace will happen in Juba and the Launwer are burning. Peace is happening in Juba and the Ayod people are burning. Peace will happen in Juba and the Bor children are running away. That is not peace. And the South Sudanese, we don't want to accept the truth, because we have injected fear. The Dinka fear the Nuer because they think the Nuer will kill them. What will make Nuer to kill you? Nuer are interested with Salva Kiir. We want Salva Kiir to step down to save lives. We want Salva Kiir to make sure that the resources of South Sudan will not fund conflict anymore. Let these resources go to the South Sudanese. Because if our resources are being used to kill people, then where are we going? Now, that side, we have all seen what the so-called SSPDF that is in the Nuer land can do. They burn down shrines, they rape women, burn down hospitals to ashes. Organizations, hospitals in Pieri, and the international community have seen that. And to tell you the truth, even international community are tired, because they have been writing every single day, please go back to peace agreement. We are ready to pay. We are ready to sponsor it. The money doesn't even come from South Sudan. It's being supported with money that comes from the taxpayers of those countries. But somebody is working so hard, and they're bringing their taxes to bring peace to your country, and what do? You kill your own people. You don't even want to utilize that. You want to kill first, and then later on you can go. It will not work. By that time, maybe you used to manipulate people. That happened only that time. Now we have South Sudanese children that love South Sudan so much, that have brain, can see what is really happening. And that one, Salva Kiir, you are the solution. You are the solution to this. And please, to anybody that is coming on social media and start making noise in the name of you people are tribalists, we are not tribalists. We are fighting for our right. Actually, the war always happened where? The war always happened in Jonglei. It's always in Upper Nile, the greater Upper Nile. That's where there's always war. There have never been war in Barghazal. Have you ever seen war in Barghazal that have been that too much? Huh? No, the war only happened in the greater, either greater Upper Nile or the greater Equatoria. These are the only two places that the war is happening in. But the war doesn't happen in the greater Barghazal. Why? Because Salva Kiir is protecting his own area. But he wants the children of the greater Upper Nile and the greater Equatoria to continue to suffer. Why have Salva Kiir choose like this? Huh? This is it. If I'm lying, why is it that it's only the greater Upper Nile and the greater Equatoria that is always bleeding? Why? Why is it that it's only these two places that always bleed? The greater Barghazal is always quiet, peaceful. Children go to school, they eat so well, they have roads, they can move on. But when it's come to the greater Upper Nile, no, there's nothing. When it goes to the greater Equatoria, it's war always. That is what has been happening. So the truth has to be said. And don't come and tell us because war is not happening in your area that war is not. Imagine the children that were banned in 2025, the pictures, and the one that were banned recently in Ayot and also in Launwer land. I show this, I send all these pictures to Bol Anwar. When he texts me, I send them this picture. Do you know what he told me? He said that these pictures were checked and they find out that these pictures came from Nigeria. Imagine. They already find a way to lie. They already find a way to lie that these pictures came from Nigeria on bombardment that happened there. And in reality, these are where we even know their names. We know their families. We know where they came from. They were burned alive. Life was burned out of them by helicopters that come from Uganda. It's so heartbreaking that the whole world is seeing Uganda send their helicopters to go and bomb. Even humanitarian organizations. The Save the Children came out and wrote on their page that their office was burned down to ashes in Walgak by the SSPDF. In Pieri also, MSF came out and we all saw what the destruction the gunship did, the bombardment did to that place. So you cannot say that this is a lie. We have evidence even from organizations, international organizations, not even national organizations. International organizations were burned down. Save the Children. Their head office is in Juba. If you are in Juba, you can contact them. Go to their page. You will see they have written their office and they don't lie. International community don't lie. International organization don't lie. In Lankan, in Pieri, in Walga. So they burn down even shrines. Huh? So, the reality is, there's no way one part of the country will have peace and the other part of the country will cry. Or it's the MSF office in Lankan, sorry. The MSF office is in Lankan. That's the one that was burned down. And that one was it's serving 250,000 people. But it was burned down. Why? Because they want the children and the women to die. And there's a lot of cases. We know very well the government of South Sudan doesn't support anybody. They don't care about you. They care about what is happening in Bentiu. Bentiu is where the oil comes from. The oil that feeds South Sudan, most of it comes from Bentiu. But how does Bentiu look like? It's now water. People are staying inside the water. Anytime, they are afraid. In case that breach break and the water comes in Kalas, there's nothing we will talk about Bentiu. And that's where the oil comes from. And that's why even the people eat water lily. So, if peace have to come to South Sudan, peace have to come to all South Sudanese. Not to one side of South Sudan. Not to one side. Because Salva only care about Greater Barghazal. Salva Kiir only care about Greater Barghazal. He doesn't care about Greater Equatoria. He doesn't care about Greater Upper Nile. And Greater Upper Nile, we have oil. They are interested in the oil, but they are not interested in the people of that the oil come from. If we were not important, why will God put oil in that place? God knew we deserve that one. He knew we deserve that one, and that's why he put oil in the Greater Upper Nile. And he put other minerals, the gold and the diamonds and the lead and all those things too, to Greater Equatoria. There's a reason why they were put there. And you cannot come out. Huh? You cannot come and destroy our land. It cannot be right. So if peace have to come, then peace have to come. We don't want peace that is signed in the paper. Peace that is signed with the mouth. No, we are tired of that peace. We want real peace, whereby children can go to school. There's no fear. Nobody fear to come and kill. Because the children started from Bor here. The children are not going to school from Bor. Children are not going to school. They have run for safety. The women in Ayon, in Gawar land, they are in the bush, in the swamp. You saw their pictures. And women were even, imagine, they were laughing in the water. I have a question for Salva Kiir. I have a question for the government in power. And my question is, you said last year that it was the White Army that attacked what? The White Army attacked the government in Nasser. That's the reason why you are fighting them. What took the bombardment to Ayod, the Fangak land? Did they also attack? You start bombing them for nothing. From that, you went to Launwer and you start bombing them again. What did they do? Actually, Launwer were the one who saved the survivors. They were the one who make sure the survivors were transported. The war of Nasser, they were transported through Launwer. So what did even bring Launwer to that place? What brought Launwer to this war? If it's not that this is a plan, because it left Nasser, which is a Nuer land, it went to Fangak. From Fangak, it went to Akom, and then some part of Bentiu. You try to bomb the Mayom place to see if the Mayom people will react or not. And you saw there's nothing. Again, you bomb the Nyong places, and then from there nothing happened, and then you continue. This so that you will come and finish Bentiu later on. And you are still waiting down and sitting down and waiting, and you want to talk about peace. Why do we lie to ourselves? Why do we say something we are not ready to implement? Huh? So, when you come and fight, I have a document that I've prepared for you in the style. I'm going to compare the leadership of Salva Kiir and the leadership of President Museveni. So, these two leaders, I'm going to read for you. I'm going to take you through the leadership styles of Salva Kiir and Museveni. And you will see these are two people in one. There are two people in one. And Salva Kiir actually used so much. There's a book he used. I told South Sudanese, everybody should read 48 Laws of Powers. Every South Sudanese. There's even 48 Laws of Powers for children. We all deserve to read this book. Because this book, Salva Kiir is using this book directly to finish us. When you try to see this style of leadership, he's using 48 Laws of Powers directly without even thinking about it. So, why is Salva Kiir behaving the way he's behaving? What kind of style of leadership he's using? Come with me, let me take you through. The introduction is, power is not only about elections, popularity or military strength. It also involves strategy, influence, reputation, control. Understanding leadership style helps citizens interpret decisions and regional impacts. Because now, if we don't know the style of leadership of Salva Kiir, we will not know the things that we need to benefit. Because that the regional, we are not benefiting in the East African community. And we are paying money, we are paying tax. But we are not benefiting. Only the MPs that are sent there that are benefiting. We, the South Sudanese, we are not benefiting in that. We don't even have the East African passport. If we don't have the East African passport, that means then we don't do what? That means we don't have. There's nothing that we are benefiting from. Because even the IGAD that is being sent, the AU that is being sent, they're not even helping us. They're just writing documents, and those documents Salva Kiir doesn't respect. Remember, there's a statement that was said by President Museveni. He said, thank you for killing them. And then he said again, no, I didn't mean that. That was one statement. The second one was, Museveni, you will see later on, he see as a peacemaker in East Africa or in Africa. But is it reality? He came and he told people that I got this Uganda with a bullet. So whoever wants it must get it with a bullet. And this is the same person that is a signatory in the peace agreement of South Sudan and Congo. Yoweri Museveni, let's go straight to Yoweri Museveni. Yoweri Museveni, president since 1986. He became a president from 1986. One of Africa's longest serving leader is one of the African longest serving leader. Now, he's the dragon of Africa. He's the longest dragon of Africa. Controls government, parliament, and military. That is his style of leadership. He controls the government, he controls the parliament, and he controls the military. That's why his son is in the military. His leadership style, strategic, methodical, focused on long-term survival. You remember there's a statement he said before that don't think that anybody will come to this power anytime soon. He said that long time. And Ugandans clapped. They didn't even know what they were clapping because that time they were so happy. Because they thought Idi Amin was very bad. Now, Museveni, he used a style called conceal your intentions. Conceal your intentions. That is a law in 48 laws of powers. Number 3, law number 3. He removed terms limits in 2005 and age limit 2017. He removed the terms of limit of Uganda in 2005. So there's no limit of you becoming a president in Uganda. You can become a president until you die. So he removed that law in 2025 and age limit. The age limit he also removed in 2017. So he eyed his style. He used legal processes to make changes appear constitutional. He used legal processes. He makes sure he looks so legal that nobody even will doubt it or even will question it. And to make it change appear, it's look constitutional. He maintains appearance of democracy while consolidating power. You saw when the election was happening, all of us saw what was happening during that election time. And he was making sure, yes, election will happen, but he knew he was going to be the president. By who? By making sure he jailed everybody, he destroyed everybody, and you saw even there was a lot of under house arrest that Bobby Wine was put and his family and everything. And there was torture, even the wife was tortured. So I said, when leaders change the rules, instead of following them, the game is no longer about the people, it is about staying in power for a long time. And that is the strategy. So this strategy have made Yoweri Museveni to stay in power for a long time. Why am I talking about Yoweri Museveni? I'm comparing with Salva Kiir because he's the one that Salva Kiir sold his cake to, and he hated it after selling the cake to him. Museveni also used another law. Guard your reputation. Law 5. He portrays himself internationally as a regional peacemaker. He portrays himself internationally as a regional peacemaker. What did he do? He's a signatory in the peace of South Sudan. He's a signatory in the peace of Congo. He's a signatory in the peace in Uganda, in Sudan. So he portrays himself internationally as a regional peacemaker. That he fought against terrorism in Somalia. Reputation protects him from criticism and strengthens his influence. Museveni again used a law called crush your enemy totally. He used a style called crush your enemy totally. That is law 15. Opposition leaders faces arrests, restrictions, and media harassment. He harassed them openly. He restricts them. They put them under house arrest. So we know how many people are in jail. When we come to Salva Kiir of South Sudan, first president after independence in 2011, lead a fragile nation with ethnic divisions and conflict. His leadership style is using survival-focused reliefs on military power. His plan is to stay in power for long. Number one, he doesn't want election to happen. No, that is not his plan. That is not plan of Salva Kiir to do election for you. So when you think election is coming, you are thinking differently. There's no election because his plan is survival focused. He's focused to stay in power for a long time and relies on military power. He relies on military power. And that's why you see when the Lone came and say, no, you cannot bomb us. What did they do? He sent everybody, because in Juba is empty. He sent all the soldiers to Lone. Paul Nang is there. Uluny is there. And the massacre that is happening in South Sudan actually is not only happening to human beings, it's also happening to animals. Our wildlife are being massacred by Johnson Uluny himself for food because they don't have food. They go on a mission without food. So they eat our wildlife. And that make me ask to the Minister of Wildlife after today, we have been waiting for you to give a statement. And you have not yet given a statement. Why are you accepting your animals to be massacred and instead of them being protected? And also another funny thing, when the South Sudanese citizen kill the animals, it's a problem. They arrest them and put them in prison. But when Uluny went and killed them in numbers, he massacred a lot of them, nobody have come and said anything. We, the civilians, we came and make noise, but who? Nobody cares. So, Kiir used a law called crush your enemy totally. How did he do that? Remove Vice President Riek Machar in 2013. Use military force to consolidate power. We all know he's using the SSPDF. He have his own army, his own ally forces called Tiger. Tiger and SSPDF are two different things. Tiger answer to President Kiir himself, but SSPDF answer to Chief Minister of Defense and also, but Tiger direct to Salva. This is his own forces, his own army. So he used military force to consolidate power. So to me, A nation cannot heal when fear rules more than trust. He also makes sure that all the signatories to the peace agreement are removed from power. Some of them are put in prison. We even saw the steward, the late steward, Sorobo Budia, that appear in stakeholders list, and he died 5 years ago in Blue House, shows he is innocent. So he was jailed because he was also a signatory in the peace agreement. And we all did not know because nobody talks about it. We didn't even know. And justice have to be served. His family actually came out and told people that there is tradition that have to be done, a ritual tradition that need to be done, and it have to be done according to their own culture. Up to today, we don't know. Did the government went and compensate them? Or did the government went and arrest them? Or the government went and did what? We don't know. So this is a public property. He was a signatory in the peace agreement and he died in prison. So he's a public property. He's our property because he was signing a peace agreement for us. He was bringing peace for us. And so we want to know what happened to him, and all the lawyers. We need a lawyer to take up this case. Either a lawyer in South Sudan, a lawyer outside South Sudan. We need a lawyer to take up this case because this is a very sensitive case. This is how people die. They pick you, take you there, killed you, and it goes like that. Unless you have family that will come and speak about you. President Kiir also used another law that says play on people's need to believe. You play on people's need to believe. How is he doing that? He presents himself as the father of the nation. How did he do that? Anytime Salva Kiir go to church, he will remove his hat, put it down, and tell people, I have forgive Dr. Riek Machar. And he comes and say, Dr. Riek Machar fight me in 1991. Was it President Kiir that was fighting with Dr. Riek, or it was Dr. John that was fighting with Dr. Riek? So he wants to change. How is he also doing that again? He is also telling you he doesn't celebrate the independence of South Sudan so that we can forget what happened during the history. Since 2013 up to today, the independence of South Sudan have never been celebrated. It's only the South Sudanese that celebrate it on their own. Nobody celebrates it. Anytime we want to celebrate, he will say there's no budget. Sometimes Bakari came and say that we can contribute as South Sudanese so that we can celebrate our Independence Day. But he doesn't want to do that because he wants to destroy. He wants to remove that part. He wants to make sure that the history died. The history removed the people actually that were actually part of the history, and he put himself as the history. So he wanted, he presents himself as the father of the nation. Because when we celebrate the Independence Day, a lot of histories are going to come out. People will talk about things that happened that time, and this will destroy his plan of wanting to look like he's the father of the nation. He gains emotional loyalty from citizens. How does he gain emotional loyalty from the citizen? He does like this. He come and appoint your uncle. When he appoints your uncle or your father, you congratulate. You forget what he was doing bad before. And then he will use the same your father against the citizen. So the citizen will look at him, and then the citizen will make noise and say, no, this person is not good. This person is not good. The citizen will make noise, will make noise, will make noise until he will come and remove that person. When he removes that person, you're already tired of that person. You will not see Salva is the one who have been doing this, but you will start congratulating and you say, Ben, Salva Kiir is a good president because he listened to what you told him. But this is a plan. This is a plan. It's called gaining emotional loyalty from citizens. A very good example that was used by Salva Kiir is Dr. Benjamin Bolmel, this guy was used openly. Everybody could see. He was used in the road construction, and all the money was being looted. All the money was being looted, and then he was now also given a lot of positions at once. He was given ranks, he was given position of becoming vice president, he was again put in the MPs and all that. Now, when he used this guy blood was so hot. He was told he will be the president. So he wanted to make things happen very quick. He went to Uganda, organized the bombardment that will happen in Nasser, so that what will happen? They send people to go do disarmament in Nasser, and then it's end to bombardment, and then later on they come and they say it's the Dr. Riek Machar, because they were finding a way to capture Dr. Riek, put Dr. Riek in prison, and then later on that Bolmel can be made the president. But unfortunately, Bolmel did not know he was just being used. So the people became annoyed. Everybody, Dinka people were calling for the removal of Bolmel. The Nuer people were calling for the removal. Everybody was, when he was removed, everybody celebrated. Everybody was celebrating. And everybody saw Salva Kiir as a hero, as a good leader, but he was using this style called play on people's needs to believe. You play on their needs for them to believe you are a good leader. This is what Salva Kiir have been doing, blindfolding all of us. He also used the leader of Unity State, Dr. Is it John Mintwil or Wen Mintwil? So he used him against the people of Unity State for a long time. For a long time, he used this. When this happened, when he was removed, all the people of Unity State celebrate, including me. I was in Juba that time. Even me, I celebrated really bitterly. I went on street, I celebrated because he was removed. Because I was working so hard, I was calling for his removal so much. And he was removed, and everybody celebrated. Everybody was so happy. So when he was removed, they put General Riek now. He's the current governor of Unity State. So when Mitchell was removed, he put this one. So he used people needs to believe. And then strong leaders are not those who silence their opponents, but those who can survive honest criticism. Strong leaders are not those who silence their opponents, but those who can survive honest criticism. What are the key differences between the two leaders? The key differences between the leaders is Museveni used election, he used laws. Museveni, he used laws, he used elections, and he used institutions. President Kiir used military force and purges. Museveni diplomacy and reputation. Kiir used fear and international control. He used fear and international control. And that's why the Dinka will be like, oh, we will be killed by Nuer. The Nuer will be like, oh, so there's fear in the country. Nobody trusts each other. So he used that fear. When the Dinka fear the Nuer and the Nuer fear the Dinka, then that is how Salva Kiir now become powerful. That is the power of Salva. That is what makes him stay in power. He picked few Dinkas. Anytime he see a leader that is arising and people laugh, he will pick and put to himself. Destroy that leader against his people. So the people of this person will not want you. And now he will use these people against their people. This is what he does. He bring leaders and then he use them against their people. Like now we have a lot of Nuer people that he have used. And he have destroyed the relationship between these leaders and the Nuer people. So the community of Nuer doesn't even believe these people. They went ahead and they also created something called Nuer Wave. Nuer Wave was not created by the Nuer people. So that was the plan, because they knew when you start calling a Nuer that Nuer of money, that Nuer Wave, it will divide, they will divide themselves. And for sure, this Nuer Wave word, they have really succeeded so well, because they have succeeded in destroying the Nuer people, the Nuer community. So he had to divide. He used divide and rule. He will divide, and then he said, these are just like what Ulunj said. He told Dr. Regaiko that you are a South Sudanese, that you are not a Nuer. How will he not be a Nuer and he's coming from the low Nuer people? So he's telling him, you are not a Nuer. You are a South Sudanese. But these Nuer are Nuer. Does it make sense? That is a very cheap lie. So, why do the two of them stay in power? They use strategic use of power. They are strategic. Control of institutions. Like you see, when Ezekiel Lol was appointed, he came and he opened it openly. And he said that I am fighting for my position. Even you, all of us should fight for President Kiir to continue staying in power so we can continue to have our positions. He said, if Salva Kiir go, you will also go. That is what he said. So, to them, the leadership of Salva Kiir is not about the citizen of South Sudan. You can die, he doesn't care. He cares about staying in power. And the people around him also don't care about you. They care about how they can continue being in power, looting resources, and that is it. Corruption, nepotism. This is the thing, the results of Salva Kiir leadership. Hatred among South Sudanese. He have made sure South Sudanese hate themselves too much, because that's what makes him to be in power. Control of institution. He put specific people in specific institutions. When it's come to the Minister of Finance, there's specific tribe and community that have to make sure they stay. Any part that have money, you will not find other tribes there mostly. You don't find them. If they put them there, then the undersecretary become from Salva Kiir tribe or Salva Kiir community. He makes sure he controls the decisions in those institutions. Weak or divided oppositions. He divides opposition. Every single day we are having a lot of oppositions, a lot of defections, a lot of rebels are being seen every single day. So to him, he used weak or division opposition. Same, then both of them use that. Legitimacy narratives. And they lie too much. They lie too much. Like now, they went and bombed Lankan, the MSF in Lankan. They bombed the MSF in Lankan. They also bombed the Save the Children office in Walgak. And they'll come and deny and say they don't know. Who did that? They went and bombed, and when we say the people are being bombed, they say no. The bodies, the pictures of these bodies were the pictures in Nigeria. Like what was said by Bull and Nuer. I have the evidence of the communication. I make sure I dig out more information. And I have enough. Even the election that they are talking about will not happen, because there's a statement that he said, if you stop this war in Lone Nuer, there could be an election. What does that show you? That election is not going to happen. There's no election. Even all these people that are being appointed 45 days, they are being given a framework. It's not happening. There's no election, because the plan of Salva Kiir is to stay in power for a long time. But 2026, Salva is going to be 21 years in power. In August 11th. In August 11, 2026, he's going to complete 21 years in power. South Sudan freedom took 21 years. Dr. John Garang took 21 days in power. Salva Kiir also will take 21 days in power. So to those who are supporting Salva, start preparing. He's leaving you soon. Prefer for stability. Preference for stability. Regional implications. Uganda role affect DRC and South Sudan peace processes. Factional alignments and undermine trust. They undermine trust. You see, they already know the international community can only write documents. They don't know actually even the international community can take action. They don't know. They don't know the international community can take action. The only thing when they are warning them all the time, please go back to peace agreement, that it will always be those documents. No, the international community actually can make a decision and they can take action. And this is what Salva Kiir actually is waiting for. Because everybody have begged Salva Kiir. The international community have written a lot of documents from 2022, from 2023 up to today. From when even the peace agreement on 12 January started up to today. A lot of documents, a lot of warnings. Even the international community came out and said, we will fund. Because they'll come and say, but Makwelwe came and asked them, who are this international community? Makwe question, who are international community? Anytime international community write, when it's come to the money of the international community, you rush so quick to Nairobi, to Ethiopia, so that you can talk about peace agreement because you are getting allowances. There's daily allowances that you get when you are in the peace talk. That is international money, international community money. And that money comes from the taxpayers of those countries where those international community come from. But you are taxpayer, that the money that is being paid, the tax by South Sudanese, you take them to Uganda, you bring helicopter and you bomb them. And now, the international community even brought organizations that can be able to save the citizen, and then you are even killing them, you are bombing them, you are burning their offices alive. What kind of peace is Salva Kiir talking about? What kind of solution is Salva Kiir looking for? We have military involvement may prolong conflict. You saw Salva Kiir brought UPDF, that is Uganda Civil Defense Force. He brought the UPDF to Luerland. He took them to Nasser. Some of them even were given uniform of the SSPDF. Now, when we ask about who doesn't want peace, between the other signatories to the peace agreement and Salva Kiir, who doesn't want peace? Who doesn't want peace? Who doesn't want peace? It's Salva Kiir who doesn't want peace. If Salva Kiir wants peace, it's as simple as that. Let him do what? Let him release the first vice president and all political detainees. It's as simple as that. Let him remove Oloy and Paul Nang in Akobo. Let them turn them back to Juba. Let them leave the Boer children to go to school and the greater Upper Nile people to go to school to have peace. But Salva Kiir doesn't want that. He makes sure that side and the Equatoria is always in war. But he protects his own Barghazal. Salva is protecting Barghazal when the greater Upper Nile is bleeding all the time and the greater Equatoria is bleeding all the time, but he's making sure the Barghazal is free. Huh? So to you South Sudanese, is it fair that it's all the time greater Upper Nile that will be in war, the children have nothing good, and also the greater Equatoria, but greater Barghazal is very okay, people are going to school and everything is okay? Huh? So South Sudanese, It's so unfortunate that even the SSPDF got to die. Suicide of even you don't have food. Because the soldiers have been turned to what? Soldiers have been turned to, they only burn charcoal and go and sell so that they can get money. You have seen all of them are falling down. They all drink alcohol, which is makwelwes. Why? Because of a lot of stress. They fought for this country, but nobody cares about them. I came out before and I told people some years back that we have to care about our soldiers. People told me, no, these people are very ruthless. These people, I say, hey, me and you, there's no difference between me and, so the soldiers and us, we are one people. We are all suffering. It's only Salva Kiir that is enjoying, and Tiger is also enjoying. When you look at the soldiers, the SSPDF that are going to war, and you look at the Tiger, you see the Tiger, they are very healthy. You see the Tiger, even their uniform is very clean, is very new. But when you look at the SSPDF, they are finished. There's nothing in them. So me and you as citizens, there's no difference between them even again. So the soldiers and us is one people. We are all suffering. And it's so unfortunate that they are killing these people. Huh? They're killing these people. And imagine you go to bed with nothing. Your children, when your child is sick, you don't have money to take them to the hospital unless you go and beg those people that Salva Kiir have put in power. But if we could have peace in South Sudan, real peace, a peace that is for the citizen, we don't want even the government positions. We will do our own things because we are creative. We can be able to do a lot of good things. But nobody does what? You don't want even to give us that peace. Anytime we want to be okay, you destroy everything. You destroy the communities. My conclusion to South Sudan is, both leaders, they maintain power through control of rivals, institutionals, and perceptions. Understanding power promotes accountability. If you understand power, if South Sudanese will have understand the power, by now Salva Kiir will not be in position. He will have been gone long time. But because we don't understand, because we don't care, South Sudanese don't care about South Sudan. I don't know why, because a lot of you actually maybe did not vote. But I vote for South Sudan in 2011. I vote for separation. I vote for independence. So that gives me a right that I must always protect the right that I vote for. That independence that I brought, because my one vote contributed a lot. My two votes, because I voted 3 times. And I was not even yet 18 years that time. And a lot of people voted, they were not yet even that age. Why? Because we wanted to have, I was tired of being a refugee. And I wanted to have a country. But today, where is that country? Salva Kiir have thrown the country to dogs. He have given us a legacy that will take us time to remove. That South Sudanese are the poorest country in the world. When you look at the resources we have and the name we have been given outside, they don't ride. They don't come near. Power lasts longest when it is shared with the people, not taken from them. Voting shapes the future. So, if we can be guaranteed that the election that is going to happen is going to give us real peace, then we are ready for election. But as long as Salva Kiir is the one who is signing this thing, peace in South Sudan means Salva Kiir is not in power. Peace in South Sudan means Salva Kiir is not in power. That is the peace we are talking about. As long as Salva Kiir is in power and he's trying to lie, he create this war again, come and say, let's negotiate peace, again go to this side, cause problem, come and negotiate peace. That is not peace. Peace must be the peace that is being negotiated in South Sudan. So, before you start coming and judging people, find out what is happening in Nuerland. Find out what is happening in Bor. Find out what is happening in Greater Upper Nile at large and Greater Equatoria before you come and start making noise. Peace in South Sudan means Salva Kiir is not in power. That is the meaning of peace. And 2026, Salva Kiir must go. And just like I told you people, in 2026, a lot of miracles will continue to happen. I told you miracles will happen. A dead person was appointed in the stakeholders. That is a miracle if you don't know. An SSPDF was sent and they start burning down shrines. They start raping people. They forgot the mandate. Why they are called the SSPDF. Thank you so much. Long live South Sudan. Long live South Sudan. Long live South Sudan. Viva South Sudan. Viva South Sudan. Viva South Sudan. See you next time.